I'm Jayson Lusk. I am the head of the Agricultural Economics Department and the director of the Center for Food Demand Analysis and Sustainability at Purdue University. We've been running our monthly consumer survey for about a year and a half now. This month we've observed food spending at its highest level since we began, so at least in the past year and a half. Consumers say they're spending between 6 and 7% more on food now than they were a year ago. I think this is reflective of the fact that inflation is starting to catch up with consumers and it's being seen in their food spending patterns. The other thing we're seeing that is perhaps a bit of a worrying sign is an uptick in food insecurity rates. This is essentially a measure of whether people say they can afford enough food that they want to eat. And that number ticked up to 16% of the U.S. population. It's not a big spike yet, and we don't yet know whether that will continue in the wrong direction, but that's certainly a number we've been keeping our eye on, and we've noticed that, again, it increased a bit this month. The other thing that we noticed is a reduction in the amount of time that consumers are staying on SNAP. This is the so-called food stamps program, the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, and we've seen a reduction in the amount of time that people say that they've been on that program. And some of this could be related to changes in government policy about benefits that were paid out as supplemental benefits in response to the COVID pandemic. So some of the news isn't very positive in the short run, but it's not all bad news. There are a few silver linings in our report. We continue to see improvement in stock-out rates at the grocery store. We all remember the pandemic and some of the empty shelves that we experienced, but really over the course of the past year and a half, we've seen a continual reduction in consumers saying they can't find certain items that they want to buy on the grocery store shelves. This month, we took a look at the behaviors and attitudes and characteristics of people who spend a lot per person for food versus those who spend just a little bit per person per food, the thrifty consumers. And in general, the thrifty consumers, unsurprisingly, tend to be more likely to be food insecure. That is, they wish they had more money to spend on food. But they also tend to engage in behaviors like gardening, eating a vegetarian diet. And so you can see behaviors that they adopt to try to economize on their food budget. They also tend to be more likely to shop at dollar stores, where perhaps there are some more affordable options there as well. By contrast, consumers that are spending more per person on food, perhaps not surprisingly, they are more happy with their diets and happy with, more satisfied overall with their dietary options and guidelines. So I think food spending really is a reflection of how happy people are with their overall dietary patterns and options available to them.